Thanksgiving is over. What this means is that we have gone through the wonderful ringer of our family engagement. And I'm going to guess, like most of you, you've probably left with some degree of conflict and information that you gathered during this time. I'm Sean Meredith with Effective Leadership Coaching and Consulting, and I want to talk about that process of triangulation that is one of these human factors that we all experience and how we can manage it in our own personal lives and professional lives as leaders. So, triangulation, simply put, is when two humans, I'll call it a dyad, hit a friction point or a conflict point that gets too hot. So, what they will do in that point is triangulate in a third. They'll bring in that third person. So you and person A are fighting. It doesn't end well. Next thing you know, you're picking up the phone, you're texting, or you're calling somebody else about, can you believe what they just did to me, or what they said, or hey, was I wrong when I did this? Some sort of consultation. Triangles detour conflict. They siphon off some of that emotional intensity, that emotional energy. They help us calm down. What triangles don't do is resolve conflict and evolve the initial dyad. So conflict resolving is how we evolve in relationships. We grow, we develop, we mature. So great for calming them down, terrible for getting anything done. So what do we want to do with these? If you are being invited into a triangle, you want to provide a safe space for the other person to contemplate how they want to manage the conflict, how they want to resolve that conflict, what they want to do with that. Maybe help them practice speeches, maybe help them practice their point, practice what their needs are in that moment, what they're trying to address with the other person. What you don't want to do is pick up the mantle of that conflict and run to the other person and hit them over the head with somebody else's stick. That is kind of the human nature, and happens in families, happens in workspaces, and it is the absolute least productive thing you can do. In fact, it's kind of the way to destroy human systems. So, when you are the triangulator, so when you find yourself reaching out to other people, same thing. You want to use that as respite to kind of think about and reflect on what you want to do with that conflict in order to move it towards resolution. And you don't want to pass that hot potato to the other person. You really want to watch you don't pass the ownership of that struggle or that problem to them. You want to leave with the problem. So think about it, watch out for it, watch the ways people triangulate with you. Watch the ways you triangulate with other people, and try to peel that onion back, if you would, to the original dyad where that conflict originally is happening. You'll find that's kind of complicated, and think about how can you encourage resolution in that initial conflict. All right, let me know how it works in the comments. Let me know if you have questions, and as always, thanks for listening.